The day I brought the antique mirror into my apartment, I had no idea that I was inviting a malevolent force into my life. It was a beautiful piece, with an ornate wooden frame that seemed to whisper tales of a bygone era. Little did I know, the horrors concealed within that glass would soon become the focal point of my nightmares. At first, everything seemed normal. The mirror adorned my bedroom wall, casting a vintage charm upon the room. I would glance at it as I passed by, admiring the way it added a touch of mystique to the otherwise modern decor. It wasn't until a few nights later that things took a sinister turn. I was preparing for bed, brushing my teeth in front of the mirror, when I caught a glimpse of movement behind me. Startled, I turned around, expecting to find an intruder. To my relief, there was nothing there. I chided myself for letting my imagination run wild and convinced myself it was a trick of the light. However, the unease lingered. Night after night, I noticed subtle changes in the mirror's reflection. My own image seemed distorted, as if I was looking at myself through a funhouse mirror. But there was something more unsettling beneath the surface, a shadowy figure that mimicked my every move with a sinister grin. Its eyes, cold and lifeless, seemed to pierce through the glass and into the depths of my soul. My heart raced as I stared into the mirror, paralyzed by the terror of what I was witnessing. The malevolent doppelgänger mirrored my actions with a mocking demeanor, its movements deliberate and calculated. Panic set in, and I couldn't tear my gaze away from the haunting reflection. As the nights passed, the sinister entity grew bolder. It would appear at random times, not just when I stood before the mirror. I would catch glimpses of it in the corner of my eye, standing in the hallway, lurking in the darkness of my living room. Each time I tried to confront it, the doppelganger vanished, leaving only the cold, unyielding glass of the antique mirror. My sanity began to unravel as paranoia consumed me. I started avoiding mirrors altogether, terrified of encountering that malevolent presence. Sleep became elusive, haunted by nightmares in which the mirror entity escaped its glass confines, manifesting in the real world to torment me. Driven by desperation, I delved into the mirror's history, hoping to uncover the source of this paranormal nightmare. The antique shop where I had purchased it revealed little, except that the mirror had a dark past passing through various owners, each plagued by unexplained misfortunes. It was a cursed relic, they said, rumored to trap the souls of those who gazed too deeply into its depths.
Determined to break the curse, I sought the help of a paranormal investigator. Together, we performed seances and rituals, attempting to communicate with the entity trapped within the mirror. As the room grew colder and shadows danced along the walls, the malevolent force made its presence known, mocking our futile attempts to banish it. The horror escalated when the mirror entity started communicating directly with me, whispering twisted secrets and dark desires into the recesses of my mind. It knew my fears, my weaknesses, and exploited them with sadistic pleasure. The once charming antique had become a portal to a realm of nightmares, and I was its unwilling captive. In a final act of desperation, I decided to destroy the mirror, hoping to sever the connection between myself and the malevolent entity. Armed with a hammer, I struck the glass with all the strength I could muster. As the mirror shattered, a blood-curdling scream echoed through the room, and for a moment I glimpsed the twisted face of the mirror entity contorted in agony.
But the relief was short-lived. As the shards settled, the malevolent force lingered, its presence undiminished. It had transcended the physical confines of the mirror, and I realized with horror that I had become the vessel for its dark essence. Haunted by the malevolent entity, I live in perpetual fear, forever tormented by the reflection of the sinister version of myself in every shiny surface. The antique mirror, now shattered and scattered, had unleashed a darkness that clung to me like a curse, a never-ending horror that no amount of shattered glass could contain.